Hey guys, welcome back to another video. The final season of Game of Zones is finally here, and it is a good one. Bleacher Report is releasing 4 new episodes, each of them around 8 to 10 minutes long, so these reference videos are going to be around 15 to 20 minutes long. So if you do enjoy, please leave a like down below. I'll be releasing a reference video every week for the coming months, so be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. For this video, I'm trying something a little different. It's going to be a combination of both audio and text so the video is easier to understand, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you find any Easter eggs I missed, let me know in the comments. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
When people ask you what happened here, tell them King James still rules the East. Also, tell them I'm better than Michael Jordan.
He said what? Your generation is soft. With your load management and your analytics and your AAU superhouses, the gods of this game will not stand for this. A reckoning is coming. No.
So this scene is a reference to Dwayne Wayne, a character from the 90s sitcom A Different World, who is famous for wearing these types of glasses.
Hello, old friend.
Ah, Sir Dwayne, welcome to the Media Dell.
Thank you. I'm so delighted to be teammates again.
Oh, likewise. Need you. We're a man down without Chuck.
Wait, what? Where's Charles? He's like the funniest guy on the show. I mean, well, luckily I'm ready to go. I've actually prepared a bit. It's called Wade's Grades, you see.
Slow down, Chief. You can't be on the show until you've earned your press pass.
Press pass? Well, how do I get a press pass?
You audition.
An audition? I'm Dwayne Wade.
Don't worry. They make it easy on X nights. You just do a quick apprenticeship and then present your findings to the other maesters. You'll be reporting on an injury.
Let me see here. Apprentice to Maester Mark Stein.
So there are multiple references in this page alone. The first is to Kirk Goldsberry, who is famous for creating shot charts for all NBA players and teams. The second is a reoccurring joke of Jeff Van Gundy, who constantly goes on rants while commentating. The third is to Jalen Rose and his perfect hairline. The fourth is to the inside the NBA tradition of racing to the big board, which Kenny Smith constantly loses.
Yeah. How are you?
The fifth reference is to Bill Walton and Matt Barnes, who are gardening herbs, a reference to both of them being notorious stoners during and after their careers. The sixth is to a butt corker from Max Kellerman, a reference when Max tried to cover up his fart with a cough during an ESPN segment.
Raymond's usually arguing if
The ninth and final reference is to Charles Barkley and donuts, an obvious reference to Charles Barkley and his notorious snacking.
In his investigation of an injury to a horse? Oh, I get it. You're being funny.
Four full MCL tears, four full ACL tears, four full Achilles tears, and a full neck tear. Looks like the horse will be out indefinitely.
So,
So this scene right here is a reference to the last episode, where the horse who does horse things gets cut up. If you haven't seen my video on the last episode, click the link at the top right of the screen.
what happened? Foul play?
My working theory is that Robin Lopez mistook him for a mascot.
I've seen that mark before. My Squire season, I think. Yes. It's hand checking, no?
Hand checking? Don't be silly, Dwayne. That was banned years ago.
What was this?
So handshaking is a reference to the old defensive rule that would allow defenders to place their hands on a player to take away speed, balance, or rhythm without being called for a foul. Wade, who was drafted in 2003, played 1 year with hand checking before it was removed his sophomore season, which is why he remembers it.
What's Horse doing when it got hurt?
Horse things, I assume. Take this report to the Ravenry. And make haste. I don't want to get scooped.
Ravenry. Oh, excuse me, Maester Windhorse.
Ah, Sir Dwayne.
I'm supposed to take this to the Ravenry. Do you know where that is?
I do. I'm going there now. Come. Poor thing.
Yeah, tell me about it. A future Hall of Famer serving as an errand boy to Mark Stein.
I'm in. I meant the horse, out indefinitely. Seems he paid a heavy price for speaking ill of his heiress.
Where did you hear that?
My little birds are everywhere. Okay, well, mostly around LeBron, but some other places too.
Have your little birds told you anything else?
So this is a reference to how Windhorse greatly relies on breaking LeBron James news for his career. Windhorse started covering LeBron when he was only 14 years old. This is because Windhorse and LeBron attended the same high school in Akron. It was Windhorse who first found out about LeBron returning to Cleveland, among other big LeBron decisions.
What's about this horse? I noticed a strange mark.
No. Since the horse injury, my birds from Toronto have become useless. They're just repeating the same things over and over.
What kind of thing?
Another reference in the background is the ESPN trade machine, which predicts which trade would be successful based on the NBA rules. An Easter egg is that if you actually enter this trade, with KD and Kyrie going back to their old teams, it says the trade will be successful.
Oh, how nights these days are soft, how the 90s were the best, how Sir Jordan is the GOAT. Boring old man stuff, really.
Boring, yeah? Could it be related to the soul box?
I didn't think to make that connection. But then again, I don't have your instincts. I never played the game.
You never played?
No. Everything I learned about basketball, I learned in here.
So many books.
All the stories, records, recaps, box scores, and even memes.
There's a ton of Easter eggs in the scene alone. The first one is the board saying Russell Westbrook is overrated, a reference to how all advanced statistics show Russell Westbrook as an average player. We can also see NBA commentators Jalen Rose, Reggie Miller, and Doris Burke in the library. Behind them we see off-court drama, puff pieces, and Chris Broussard fiction. Chris Broussard fiction is a reference to all the incorrect predictions Broussard has made in the past. We can also see 3 famous NBA memes in the background.
They all live here. We are this world's memory, Dwayne. Without us, the histories and legends of all realms.
So this scene is a reference to all the Celtics stands, Kevin O'Connor, Bill Simmons, and Jackie McMullen reading about the '69 Celtics. The books are also all references to the Celtics. Dennis Johnson and Joe Johnson is a reference to all the Johnsons that have played for the Celtics. There's also Two Girls, One Truth, The Big Three, and The Houdini of the Hardwood. The left side has books on Brian Scalabrine, The White Mamba, and Larry Bird. An easily missed detail is in the background, with the books including the Kevin McHale Nudes, Dirty Little Horford, and 50 Shades of Green.
Would all vanish like James Harden in a meaningful playoff game. Some say if it's not in here, it never happened. Now, if you'll excuse me for one moment, Dwayne, I need to grab a book.
Wait, I can't come in.
I'm afraid this is very sensitive information. Only maesters with a press pass can enter.
So this shot I think has the most references ever in a single game of zone shot, so I'm going to quickly go over each one. Actual player heights is a reference to the NBA being accused of lying about their player heights. Frozen envelope is a reference to the rumor that the NBA rigged the 1985 draft lottery to give the Knicks the first pick. They froze an envelope so they could choose the coldest one to give to the Knicks. Derrick Rose SAT invoices is a reference to the rumor that Derrick Rose cheated on his SATs in order to get into a college team. Rose had someone else take the test for him and was later caught by the board. Before they could take any action, Derrick Rose declared for the NBA. Rule exceptions for star nights is a reference to star players being able to surpass rules so that the NBA can profit off them. Boozer's hair potion is a reference to when Carlos Boozer, who was fully bald the year before, showed up to a game with a hairline that looked incredibly fake. People claimed that he used either used shoe polish or Sharpie to fill in his hair. Sterling's racist Raven Scrolls is a reference to ex-Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who made racist comments about how he doesn't want his wife to be associated with black people because she posted a picture of herself with Magic Johnson. Donald Sterling was then forced to sell the team by the NBA. 2002 Western Conference Final Report is a reference to the 2002 series with the Lakers versus the Kings being forced and rigged to 7 games for added revenue. Thon Maker age theories is a reference to the 2016 NBA draft, where rumors started circulating that Thon Maker wasn't actually 19 as listed, instead he was around 21 to 23 years old. His yearbook picture started circulating on Twitter showing him as much older than 19. Operation Twin Switch is a theory that twin Marcus Morris subbed in for an injured Markieff Morris for Game 2 of a playoff game. During Game 1, Markieff Morris had to leave the game due to an ankle injury. Then 2 days later for Game 2 showed no signs of injury. The supposed Marcus Morris was seen in the crowd wearing his brother's uniform that game as well. Where the bodies are buried is a reference to the NBA players versus management dispute. David Stern told the players that he knew where the bodies were buried because he had buried some of them himself. This was his threat to avoid the issues with the NBA players and looming season lockdown. Arenas crossbow incident is a reference to when Gilbert Arenas admitted to storing firearms in the Wizards locker room, violating both the Wizard and government laws. Play game toxicology report is a reference to Jordan's flu game, where in the NBA Finals, Jordan played through his sickness to win Game 5 for the Bulls. There are rumors that Jordan didn't have the flu, but instead was poisoned by the Utah pizza delivery man. Malice at the Palace was the brawl that started between the Pacers and Pistons, where Pacers players ran into the stands to fight fans. Jordan and Baseball Eras is an obvious reference to the brief 2 years Jordan spent playing baseball. Joe Smith's secret contract was when Joe Smith and the Timberwolves made a series of illegal contracts to sign Joe Smith under their salary cap. When Commissioner David Stern found out about this, he severely punished the Timberwolves, taking away their picks in 2001 through 2005. These lack of draft picks would later on prevent them from winning the championship with Kevin Garnett. The decision, plans for Cavs lottery resurrection, is a reference to the Cavs constantly winning the lottery, giving them superstar talent. The final reference is the Donaghy Files, a reference to ex-referee Tim Donaghy, who was caught by the FBI for betting on games then controlling the point spread. He had a gambling problem and was involved with a lot of low-level mob associates to get out of his debt.
Hello, Dwayne.
Sir Paul.
There is no more Paul. There is only the truth.
Right.
Now that I'm in the media, I see all. I know all. And yes, I am better than you. I have to go now.
Is he...
Alright.
This is a reference to Game 1 of the 2008 NBA Finals, where Paul Pierce faked a knee injury and was taken out in a wheelchair. He later returned without any signs of injury. Fans speculated that Paul Pierce had actually shat himself during the game and had to be taken in a wheelchair just to go to the bathroom. Pierce later confirmed the story, saying he used the wheelchair to escape to the bathroom.
Let's go.
Well, this looks like a nice place to have a long-form, intimate conversation about basketball.
Ah, yes. Here is where we do our podcasts. And here we are. Whoa. Welcome to the Ravenry. This is where the media gel and fanlings connect, or some say even merge. The network of platforms you see represent the various localities that make up the greater social media gel, a never-ending conversation between fanlings, scribes, and knights. You see, until very recently, only those cloaked in mediadel chains could reach all corners of Bolros. But no longer. So, what do you have for me?
I have this injury report I'd like to send out from Maester Stein. How do
Pulse out indefinitely. I broke that 10 minutes ago. Windhorse, what about you? Another story about LeBron? Those were different times. This is a story about how Luka Doncic is an ex-LeBron.
This generation soft, no fundamental. Jordan is the
Windhorse, look.
Looks like it's not just my Ravens. What in seven hells is going on in Toronto?
Jordan is the this generation soft.
Well, whatever it is, seems to have spread.
Dwayne, we've got to get to Crane City.
I agree. Oh, wait, my audition. It's tomorrow night.
Don't worry. I'll get us there in no time, for I am as fast as the wind.
You little mumblecrust, I'll rip your bloody antlers off! Robin, come on, bruv. It's supposed to be play wrestling, you know? This bastard tricked me into signing a giant fake contract.
I briefly mentioned this reference before, but this references Robin Lopez, who has a long history of fighting with mascots. The giant fake contract is actually a real moment between Robin Lopez and the Clippers mascot.
you bestow on me the gift of range. Please, Jesus, Shuttlesworth.
Giannis, come quick.
Here, Giannis is praying at the statue of Ray Allen, the greatest buck shooter of all time. In the movie He Got Game, Ray Allen portrayed a player called Jesus Shuttlesworth, which became his nickname for the rest of his career.
We're being attacked.
Is this some sort of scheduling mistake? I didn't think there was a battle today.
Winchos, look. There's Giannis.
This generation is soft. Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron is weak.
Wait, get down.
So here we see the rest of the Dream Team and Jordan, who is holding his iconic dunk pose. If anyone's confused on what exactly this means, I explained my theory in the last episode, so click the link in the top of the description to check it out. To quickly summarize the last video, I believe the series is going to end with a final battle between the Dream Team and the new era of basketball to decide who will rule over basketball forever. I explained my predictions for the next king and more details in the previous video. So that's going to be all for this video. These new episodes will be dropping weekly, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for future episodes, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.